Well, we're back again with yet another no fluff analysis, and this time I'll be going over the newly added Summon Showcase, featuring Forte, Yurius and Azazel. The Summon Showcase will be running from the 12th of May until the 29th of May UTC. Let's get straight to it with the first adventurer featured on the showcase, the 5-star Shadow Lance, Forte, the Lord of the Skies. Her first skill is Dragon Brood Demon Spear, which deals 2 hits of damage in a line, and deals extra damage to poisoned targets. Forte's second skill is Flawless Formation, which deals 4 hits of damage to enemies ahead, and increases the user's strength by 20% for 15 seconds. Changing direction is possible during the attack. Forte has the standard Lance co-ability of plus hit points, and her Chain Go ability grants shadow units Dragon's Claws. As for her other abilities, her first ability is Skills equals Shapeshift Prep, which fills the user's Dragon Gauge when using skills. Keep in mind, this ignores weapon and dragon skills. She also has Paralysis Resist and Poisoned Punisher. So at a glance, Forte seems to have a fairly synergistic kit. Her first skill has a low skill point cost of 2,352 points, which should allow her to spam it and fill quite a bit of Dragon Gauge over the course of a fight. Her bonus damage against poison targets, yet being unable to inflict poison herself, will shape team building somewhat, though most teams in Cayenne will likely field a Gala, Alex or Nefaria at the very least. I don't think Forte will come close to challenging Gala Alex's spot on the throne, but she'll offer a different playstyle and is her own unique character. I guess that's compelling enough for some people. Next up on the showcase we have the 5-star Water Wand Yurius, the Ravenous Researcher. His first skill is Unknown Order, dealing 4 hits of damage to a target and nearby enemies, and increasing the user's inspiration by 1 stage, and raising the user's Dragon Drive gauge. During Dragon Drive, Unknown Order becomes Tentacle Phantasma, which deals 4 hits of increased damage to a target and nearby enemies, with extra bonus damage to frostbitten enemies. His second skill is Seeker of Truth, which deals 4 hits of damage to enemies in a line, inflicts frostbite for 30 seconds, and raises the user's inspiration by 2 stages. During Dragon Drive, Seeker of Truth becomes Tentacle Mirage, which deals 4 hits of increased damage to enemies in a line, with further bonus damage to frostbitten enemies. Yurius has the standard Wand co-ability of plus skill damage, and for his Chain co-ability he grants water units Dragon Haste. As for his other abilities, Yurius' first ability is Abyssal Dragon, which grants Yurius the Dragon Drive mechanic. When Dragon Drive is active, Yurius gains plus 35% skill damage and 30% skill haste. Yurius also has Burn Resist, and when maxed out, 100% skill prep. So Yurius looks to have a very good amount of damage, with especially good bonuses against frostbitten enemies when he activates his Dragon Drive. With his innate skill prep, he looks to set up frostbite early on in a fight with his second skill, Seeker of Truth, before activating Dragon Drive and hammering an enemy with hard-hitting skills, benefiting from extra skill damage and skill haste in his Dragon Drive mode. However, he'll be awkward to play if he's the only frostbite afflicting adventurer in a team, since he only inflicts frostbite with his second skill, while Dragon Drive is deactivated. However, with a decent supporting team composition that supports the frostbite affliction, Yurius should be able to remain in Dragon Drive for as long as possible and pump out damage. Last on this showcase we have the 5-star Shadow Dragon Azazel, the Winged Rebel. Azazel grants shadow units 30% hit points and plus 35% skill haste when at maximum unbind. Azazel's skill is Merciless Doom, which deals damage to enemies in a line, inflicts poison, and increases the entire team's damage against poisoned enemies by 15% for 40 seconds. So Azazel with the skill haste looks to be a decent support style dragon. You'll want to use Azazel for Grace, if possible, due to the Poison Punisher buff attached to the Dragon skill. There's also a slim chance that Patia might look to use Azazel and become a buff bot, taking advantage of the Strength buff added to her first skill with the Mana Spiral. since Azazel grants plus hit points instead of plus strength, he's going to be looking at being used by mostly support style adventurers. In the Shadow roster at the moment, it is mostly Grace as far as I can tell, with the potential for Patia as a buffer. But Patia, I believe, was used before for mostly very safe Expert Kaiyan runs. So yeah, I think he's going to become the new best dragon to use for Grace, but otherwise I don't think there's really too much reason to be pulling for him. Unless you like his character, of course. Anyway, while not part of the showcase, but also added alongside the update, we have some Wyrmprints added. The 5-star Wyrmprint added with this showcase is Memory of a Friend, granting Flurry, Strength, and Skill Haste. So this seems like a decent offensive print. It'll see itself competing mainly with Breakfast at Valeria's and Primal Crisis, and also Jewels of the Sun. But as for the first two Flurry Strength ones, it'll only really be better if the Skill Haste helps characters meet a new Skill Haste breakpoint for faster skills. Otherwise it'll probably be, a case-by-case basis for whether this is a good print. And only if you're taking advantage of the additional Skill Haste by firing off your skills as soon as they're ready. The 4-star print added is Fallen Wings, granting Dragon Damage and Light Resist. This is a bit of an odd print. This print looks to be aimed at dragon-centric shadow adventurers, and off the top of my head this makes me think Audric and Lathna. However, due to the fact that it has a defensive ability and light resist, it makes the Wyrmprint quite weak offensively. Overall, you might actually be better off running standard skill damage and strength Wyrmprints instead of plus dragon damage. As for older content that's right up on this showcase, we have Thaniel and Vojanoi, both 4 stars. Overall, I think this banner is what most people would call a bait banner. It lasts until the 29th of May, and I think that is a sign that we might be seeing another Gala showcase at the end of the month. Personally, since these are all additions to the permanent pool, I'm going to be leaving it, but if you want a fun... I think Yurius is probably the more powerful of the units on this showcase, and possibly Azazel if you like playing Grace. But yeah, if you need a strong water wand, I think Yurius is a decent pickup. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't think Forte is going to really challenge the current Shadow metagame, but if you have a decent set of poison enabling adventurers, Forte could be a potentially strong pick as well if you're not already set up with, say, Gala Cleo or Gala Alex. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching until the end. Take it easy, stay safe, and I wish you luck in your upcoming polls.